So in today's video, I want to talk to you about something really important about your website. So you might have heard the phrase content is king, and why that's really important, that's not always the case. Derek Halpern famously said that design is king, and I definitely agree. It has more to do with the elements of the visual aspects, and there's data to support that reason why. I'm Tom from Tom Camp Media, where everyday entrepreneurs go to level up their businesses and their lives. The statistics say that the average person sits on a website for 2.2 seconds before they make their decision whether or not they're going to stick around. So how do you keep them there? The answer is your media. Now, why is it that media is so important to your website? The reason why is because it commands and builds trust and authority in the shortest amount of time possible. When they say that a picture is worth 1,000 words, it's actually really true. Let's take a look at one of the websites that I've built. This is a web page that features properties for sale. Now, if I had written this big long story about this family who was struggling and the father lost his job and it took him 3 years as they struggled raising their infant to become a toddler, and finally after 6 years of working hard they saved up all their money and they moved into the perfect home and all of the emotional resolution and everything like that, yada yada yada. I can write that story, right? But if you land on the page and you're looking for a house to buy, what are the chances are that you're going to read it? Almost nothing. But I could put a picture that shares that same emotional response and it elicits that emotional reaction from the viewer who lands on the website. That's why media is really important. And honestly, this kind of idea came from my experience in songwriting. Now, I've been writing songs for years. Now, when you write a song, you have all these different tools to select. I know that the #1 goal when I write a song is to get an emotional reaction from the listener. I have to choose the instrumentation, the arrangement, the tempo, whether I want it to be fast or slow. I have to choose the melody, the key. Do I want it to be happy and major or sad and minor? And then I have to write the lyrics. The same thing applies in your web pages when you build those and in all things business. The truth is that people don't always buy with their minds. They buy with their hearts. Emotion is always what sells. This is really important when it comes to websites. So if we know this about websites and we know that people buy when they're emotional, and more importantly, we know that they don't give you more than 2.2 seconds when they land on their website whether they're going to stay or not, then how can we truly say in today's world that content's king? Because the average person won't stick around to give it a chance. Now, I'm not saying content's not important. Content is very important. As a matter of fact, one of the best investments I ever made in my life was learning how to get good at copywriting. This is very, very important. But if my design to my website is not good, if my media is not good, and I only have 2.2 seconds to get you to emotionally react, to stick around, to read my words or not, well then in today's world, visuals are king. And that's why stock photography is really powerful. But it's not just stock photography. Sometimes it's stock photography, other times it's professional photography, like headshots. Like in the first example where I shared the real estate website, I showed a stock photo. Now in this example, here's another stock photo. This is SolarMedics, a solar company based out of New Jersey. They do solar maintenance. Now if you look at the photo, there's a guy who's working on the roof and there's a sun either setting or rising behind him, and it shows that he's working on solar panels. If I was looking for a solar maintenance company and I landed and I saw this would give me enough trust and gives the website enough authority for me to either fill out their contact form, or stay with them longer to read more information on their website. But what if I replace that out? What if I just threw any old photo in? Do you see how much worse that looks? It's not the same. It doesn't have the same authoritative feel. And the only thing that I changed was the photo. Now, stock photography is worth its weight in gold. I recommend using deposit photos and Shutterstock. I even like to use some free ones like Unsplash and Pexels and other ones. Now, this is one of the other things that makes the internet so powerful today. Do you have any idea what it costs to hire a professional photographer? If you've ever gotten married or done newborn photos or had professional headshots done, you know that it takes a ton of time and money. And sometimes you don't even get the proper result that you want. That's where stock photography is really cool, because you can pay as low as $1 an image sometimes for something that works great for exactly what you're looking for. But let's move on to the next thing. Professional headshots and other professional photography. It commands a level of authority. It says to the person who lands there that you care enough to get a professional photo done. So here's 3 examples of websites that I know that have professional headshots. This one's called Connect with Katina. and she's a blogger who shares recipes and workout routines. You could see that this is a very professional headshot of her, and it makes me trust her enough to stick around to read the rest of her website. The next is my friend Blake Newbar, who builds incredible funnels. You could see that his photo contains him having his 2 Comma Club award from ClickFunnels. This commands a ton of authority. And then the last is my website, where I have a professional headshot as well. Now, if we just had a candid shot that we took from our cell phones and it didn't really look professional, it wouldn't give the same amount of trust and authority. So let's recap really quick. You on average only have 2.2 seconds to get somebody's attention when they land on your website. The best way to keep their attention is through high quality photos above the fold of the website. You can use stock photography or professional headshots depending on your business. I hope that this tip helps you. Share it online if you know somebody who could benefit from it. Be sure to subscribe to Tom Camp Media and visit www.tomcampmedia.com. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video. The same thing applies in business. The same thing goes apply.